working with everybody, Republican. We're working with Democrat. I just spoke with Paul Ryan. He's on board. Everybody's on board. They want to do something. We're not talking about amnesty. We're talking about taking care of people that were brought here, people that have done a good job.
All right, that was the president reaching across the aisle, but it is not sitting well with all of his base. Let's bring in our talk radio panel to weigh in from the heartland. Mike Crute, progressive radio show host from Wisconsin and former Republican congressman, and radio show host Joe Walsh. Gentlemen, appreciate you both being here. If we put up the triple box here, either of you guys happy about this, yes or no? Well, we don't have a triple box, so we will poll you. Mike, you happy with this, yes or no?
I'm not unhappy with this.
All right, you're not. Okay, hold on. And then we'll get to Joe. Joe, happy, not happy?
Not happy.
Not happy at all. Okay, so we will start with Joe. How do you, it sort of seems like the Twilight Zone a little bit. We got a progressive host who's not unhappy, and you, a conservative host who is unhappy. Is it anger? Is it surprise? What is it?
It's not surprise, Leland. It's not surprise at all. This is why Trump got elected, though. And I'll tell you what, his base, most of his supporters, if he goes back on this issue, this central issue, no amnesty, I'm going to build the wall, if he goes back on that or fudges on that or wiggles on that, he's going to be in a whole heck of a lot of trouble. There's a lot of anger and nervousness out there among his voters that he might do that.
All right, Mike, in a sense, is this victory for the progressive left that repeal and replace failed? The Dems got their way when it came to a budget deal and no government shutdown to fund the government for the next 3 months. And now, at least if you listen to Joe, it appears as though the president may not have caved on the wall, but certainly the wall and this issue of amnesty is up for negotiation.
Well, you know, I had the opportunity. We had U.S. Senator Ron Johnson in studio with us yesterday. And if you ask Ron, repeal and block grant, and I don't think I mischaracterize his words when I say that, he still thinks that repeal is a possibility. Now, the wall, Senator Johnson told me yesterday, the wall is not a literal wall. And we had a good time. We gave him a hard time. I think many of his supporters thought the wall was a literal wall. I've been enough of his rallies when they chanted, build that wall. I think it's hard for them, and I think it's hard for the good Senator Ron Johnson to justify that there will be no wall.
Joe,
but at this point, I'm not sure that there's anything more than a remodel of some fencing going on.
Well, that's certainly now what the White House is talking about, saying, oh, the wall's already begun because we're remodeling the fencing. Joe, are we having the wrong conversation here? Because suddenly we're talking about funding for the wall. And forgive me, but I thought Mexico was going to pay for the wall. At least those were the chants at the rallies.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. He said two things. We're going to build a wall and Mexico is going to pay for it. I'll be honest. Almost all of his supporters believed, yes, we're talking about an actual wall. Donald Trump wouldn't have gotten elected if he said, I'm going to build a virtual wall or I'm going to fix some fences. He talked about building a real wall. Now, when he said Mexico's going to pay for it, I don't think most of his supporters believed that. But they believed in an actual wall, and he better build that damn wall. And I'll tell you what, Leland, if he doesn't build a wall, he's not going to get reelected.
All right. Kick it over to you, Mike. Do Democrats feel like they have the president on the ropes? We've heard from Joe that his base at least has some serious questions at this point and possibly some serious reasons to be angry. What's the next point that Democrats want to take the president to task on?
I'm not clear what his tax plan will be. I think it's mostly tax cuts for the rich. I would say the quote-unquote resistance, and I count myself amongst the resistance.
Well, Mike, he already said that he doesn't want tax cuts for the rich. He said it's not going to be about the rich. It's going to be about the middle class.
He says lots of things, Leland.
So you don't take him at his word now?
Sir.
You don't take him at his word?
No, I never did. I never did.
And Joe?
Look, I think when it comes to tax reform, he better cut taxes for everybody, and I think that's what he'll do.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate it. I think we'll have a lot to talk about in the coming months, proving that left and right is no longer linear in America. Thanks, fellas. We'll be listening for you on the airwaves and on the internet.
Thank you.
Good to see you.